Do you want us to lie on your back? I guess they're all in. We're recording this, correct? All right. So first thing is just to allow the britties to settle. So I'm going to suggest that you just take a moment or two just to be not sitting, which already is a good thing. And just feel into your body, feel your breath. Liz, I want to send you a heater. Try to notice the sensations in your body. It's where you feel sensation. Notice there's a variety of different sensations in the body. Some that you might label as pleasant and some that you might label as unpleasant. Just noticing the sensations. Notice what happens when you put attention, like put your attention on a sensation that feels pleasant to you. Maybe it's just the relief of having the floor beneath you and not sitting on your tush anymore, and the pressure in your pelvis. Maybe it's being able to rest your head back. Just notice as you just observe the sensation without creating a story around it, just observe it. What happens as you observe it? And then doing that same process with a sensation that you would label unpleasant. Maybe there's an area that you're aware of is very tight. It feels like it wants to move and you're not moving it yet. So just a feeling of constriction or compression or just in general tension. Just to notice what happens in observing it as well. Again, observing without creating a whole story around it, just noticing. Acknowledging that it is there. You are housing both of these, the pleasant, the unpleasant. And then observing an area that feels neutral, that you wouldn't categorize as one or the other. Just an area in your body where the feeling is just not much. So not particularly juicy and delicious and not particularly annoying or irritating, just neutral. Put your attention on it for a bit. So 3 areas, 3 relationships with different sensations: pleasant, unpleasant, neutral. Go through the process, please, again. So taking your attention to an area that feels pleasant. Might be a different area. That's okay. It might be the same. Observing, noticing, free of all the accoutrements that could come with it. Not making it bigger, not making it smaller, just observing it in the now as it is. And notice the relative ease you have with that process. Like, is it easy to just observe the pleasant sensation without embellishing it in one way or another? Is there some draw, some raga around a little string that might be attached with the vrittis in the mind to this sensation? And how about unpleasant? So when you shift your awareness to an unpleasant sensation, again, is it easy to just stay with the experience of what it is without embellishing, without making it bigger or smaller or different, or giving a history of why, or worry into the future when? Being with what is in this moment. And then as you bring your awareness to neutral, how is it to be with neutral? Can you be with neutral? Just observe the neutrality as it shows itself. So from here, shifting your awareness to the lower part of your body, to your pelvis, your low back, and moving with a little bit of articulation, a little flexion of the lumbar as you exhale, and releasing to neutral. And do that a few times. If you would prefer to have feet on the floor to do that as opposed to legs over a bolster, you're welcome to shift. Right? At any point in time, you choose to adapt any suggestion I make. Right? Again, it's yours. You are free to choose. So a little flexion and then releasing to neutral and observing that, noticing how it feels to just be this slow, this present, undistracted by all other factors in life. And then working the pelvis in the other direction, a little forward rotation, so you're increasing the arch in the back and then relaxing to neutral. And relaxing just to neutral without going into flexion. Just do one half at a time. And even though it sounds like some of you have been incorporating this on a regular basis in your practice, all of those practices were not now. So how is it now? How does it feel now to do this little bit of articulation? And then combining the two, flexing the low back, resting it towards the floor, and then releasing it to neutral and pause and just be with that. And then rotating the pelvis forward and arching the low back away from the floor and releasing to neutral and noticing. Notice how it feels to take your awareness deep into your body after in this small and familiar way, after being up talk all day, sort of in our head, discussion, of course lots of heart connecting, which is lovely too, but the energy, the prana has been very much upstairs in the body. How does it feel to bring your awareness down and just move in this gentle way through the lower part of the body? Does it feel grounding to you? Does it feel restrictive? Does it feel supportive? What's the sensation for you, experience for you? And then from here, pressing gently into the soles of the feet. On your in-breath, begin to lift your pelvis just 2 to 3 inches up off the floor. Not trying to go into a full bridge, still keeping the awareness low. Just lift the pelvis slightly, hold for a moment, and then consciously curling down, engaging your DFL, right? So really working inner thighs. So there you go. And repeat that just a few times. Again, you can continue to have your neck supported because we're not pushing up into the shoulders in a big bridge. It's just a baby bridge, really slow, so that you have that awareness. Knees are bent, feet are on the floor. Good. And what if you add just a little hum to your exhale as you curl down? Bridging up in a little, little bronnery as you exhale. And pausing after you come all the way down and complete your hum. A moment to pause before you bridge back up again. How stable or wobbly is the platform on which you stand, right? Like, do you find yourself wobbling to right side, left side? Can you stabilize and equalize your weight as you move through this movement? Good. So if you're down, stay down. If you're finishing up that repetition, finish that up. Let's have you bring your right knee into your chest. Hands behind the back of the right knee. Inhale and extend the right heel up towards the ceiling and give it a good stretch to the back of the leg. And then as you exhale, fold the knee to the chest. And repeat that. Inhale and extend. Push the heel up, toes down. Exhale, fold in. And once again, extending the leg, maintaining the extension this time and circling the ankle. Nice big circles with the ankle as the leg stays in extension. Then a little internal rotation at the hip and bringing the leg diagonally across center towards the left shoulder. And stabilizing the core and just taking the right leg maybe a foot or 18 inches out to the right. So you're not trying to go into a deep stretch, just take it past the midline to the right laterally, and then bring it back across center on the exhale and diagonally point it towards the left shoulder. Can you keep your neck, shoulder, jaw relaxed as you do this? Stabilize through the core and repeat. Bring it back to through center and then open it out to the side and then across center. And then stay grounded through the left heel and the left side, and keep the left knee bent, please. Left sole of the left foot on the floor, ground through the left leg. Begin to do circles with your right leg. Nice big hip circles. Okay, so let me say this. You're gonna bring your leg, those are baby circles, people. So you're gonna bring your leg, keep it extended, draw, bridge it down, and then draw it out to the side and then circle it all the way up. You can bend the knee more and circle from the hip joint. Rotate from the ball joint of the hip. One of the things I'd love to miss is to not have a wall that you're going to so you might want to just angle yourself from this away so that you don't reach motion. As you circle out, externally rotate. As you bring the leg towards center, internally rotate, working inside, outside, and core. Quads and hamstrings, whole leg working. Okay. This next time you bring the leg drawbridge towards the floor, let it rest on the floor. Do a little wiggle jiggle with the flop of the, or the pump of the ankle. Hook with the ankle, just your one right ankle. And then as you inhale, extend your right arm up overhead and stretch into the whole right side of the body. As you exhale, sweep your right arm out, turn your head to the left. Bring the arm all the way out and down. Again, walls probably won't move, so I haven't never seen a wall move for a yoga practice. So again, inhale as you raise the arm. Can you add a little hug, a little bronnery as you exhale and sweep the arm out and turn the head opposite? And what about the pauses? Are you remembering to pause after inhale? Pause after exhale at the end of the bronnery and the exhalation movement. Liz, how about if you bring your right leg right inside, in line with your torso? There you go. That's it. You got it, Tara? One more. Inhale and extend and lengthen through the right side. Pause, exhale, sweep the arm, turn the head opposite. Rotate your right whole body in. All right, and then letting the right arm rest by your side, bending your right knee, place your right foot on the floor. Take a moment to pause and observe and notice. You can bring both knees into your chest if you want to just balance and equalize in the pelvis before we do the other side, because that was a asymmetrical sequence there. Okay, and then feet to the floor, and bring your left knee please into your chest, stabilizing through the right hand behind the back of the left knee, and extend the right leg up, left leg up, pressing through the heel, and then on the exhale, fold the knee into the chest, and repeat please. Inhale, and extend up, toes down, and exhale, fold the knee. Inhale, big stretch up, pause, exhale, flex in, pause. This week is all about the pause. Luxuriate in the opportunity to not rush, to just be with each piece as you're with it. Okay. And then from here, extending the leg, and you're going to bring it across center. So a little internal rotation. Oh, ankle circles, thank you. Got a little cue from my friend Mandy here. Don't forget your ankle circles first. Sorry, wait. Chris, we're not there yet. Just ankle circles, both directions. And then from the ankle circles, we go into the sweeping movement, not the circles, but just extend the leg laterally, or across the body immediately towards the opposite shoulder, and then laterally open. Maintain stability in your pelvis, stand firmly into your right leg as you do that sweep out, sweep in action. So your hips don't lift. Keeping neck, jaw, throat relaxed as you move. Good, and then from here, bring the leg to center, and you're going to start the circles by doing a drawbridge action, bringing the leg forward and down, and then out and around. nice and slow so that you can really feel all the muscles that surround the hip joint, all the large muscles that are required to make that movement. And I forgot on the other side, but we have to, whenever we circle, we always have to go both directions into gravity, right? So after you do 4 or 5 in that direction, then spin your circle the other way and notice how it feels to work with the hip going in the other direction. Okay, next time you bring the leg forward and down, let it rest on the floor in extended position. And we'll work with the lateral stretch through the left side. Inhale, raise the left arm up. Oh, did we forget the pump? You're right, thank you, Chris. I forgot the little pump before you go into the lateral, so pump, pump, pump with your ankle, just to give a little release there. And then inhale and extend the left arm, stretching into the whole left side of the body. And as you exhale, sweep the left arm out, turn the head to the right. And again, inhale, pause, exhale, sweep and turn. And adding the hum, adding a little bronnery into the process on the exhale. Noticing what happens to you with the vibration. We're going to be exploring sound, vibrational movement, vibration with movement through the week. So beginning to attune yourself. What does happen inside of you with the vibration of the hum? What's the effect? And when you bring your arm down this next time, let it rest by your side, bend your left knee, place your foot on the floor. Then once again, bring the knees into the chest. Do a little Apanasana. And then take and extend the legs up, both legs up towards the ceiling, and straddle the legs wide, and then bring the legs together slowly and fold the knees to the chest. So if you can, keep your arms resting down, so it's a little bit of a flow. So inhale and extend the legs and open them. Two movements on the inhalation breath. Exhale, fold the legs together, and then the knees to the chest. So 2 movements on exhale. And repeat that. Inhale and extend and straddle wide. Exhale, bring the legs together and knees into the chest. Good. And then bring the feet to the floor. And bring your awareness to your upper body. Let your lower body rest. Bring your awareness to your upper body. And let's do a little bit of pendiculation. Shoulders towards the ceiling and then release them so they cut forward and then release towards the floor in neutral. Right? And repeat that a few times. Tightening the front and contracting, and then relaxing the front just to neutral. Notice what's happening in the neck, jaw, throat. If you want to, if it feels like it's a natural movement, to do a little contraction through the neck, and bring the chin in as you contract the front, and then relax that as you release to neutral, then please do that. And then shift to the back side, little pendiculation there, draw the shoulder blades towards one another, and shorten the space across the upper back, and then release to neutral. So a little tightening, a little upper back bend. And with that, if it feels natural to lift the chin so that there's also a little bit of contraction on the neck, and that feels useful, and you can add that piece to it, and then be sure to relax the neck to neutral as well. And then put those two into combination. So you're contracting the front, release to neutral and pause. And then contracting the back, release to neutral and pause. And then just releasing in neutral. Pause there for a moment and feel. Taking your feet wider apart, and then dropping both knees over to the right. Knees bent. That's it. Over to the right. So the left hip will come off the floor, and then extending your left arm up. So you're, again, stretching into the left side of the body. Feet have to be wider apart. So you're dropping your left knee towards the floor. So you're looking for a stretch deep in the hip flexors, iliopsoas areas. Everybody getting some of that? Is anyone feeling it in their knee? Okay. We'll support the knee if you're feeling it all coming to the knee. That's it. Amy, is that okay? Good. If you keep your left knee bent and then just press your foot to the left, it'll go a little deeper into the quad, into the psoas area, and that might be to some of your liking, and then it might not be to others of you. So choosing more or not more, depending on what's right for you. And then releasing, coming back to center, bringing the left arm down. If it was up, knees to center. And then other side. And this side has its own story to tell, true? So adapting and adjusting on this side, depending on whether it's a little tighter or a little looser, or you have some kind of injury that you're working through that you need to accommodate. Did you need to support on this side?
Mm-hmm.
And taking the opportunity to just explore without any kind of rush. Just noticing how it feels to give yourself some time to release into this opening. If you would like to press your right foot out to the right, you can do so. Tara, just be conscious of your knee and that particular adaptation with the weight on your leg, right? As long as you're feeling it, not in the knee joint, but above it, that's cool. You might want to think about putting something supportive underneath it if you're going to add that additional weight. Okay, and then go ahead and gently bring yourselves out, back up to center. Bring the knees into the chest, hug in a little bit. If you wrap your arms around your knees and then fold it, actually bring your forehead towards your knees so you're flexing your whole spine. And then hold for a moment and then gently, consciously relax back. Not just flop, but like you're unflexing. Unflexing, is that a word? Deflexing. Reflexing your spine back to neutral. So curling in, knees, forehead comes towards the knees, hold for a moment, and then slowly, consciously releasing back to neutral. So your head comes off the floor, knees are to the chest. You still have, it's like a variation of Akhanasana. Hands around the knees, just gonna curl your forehead up towards your knees, and then slowly, curl, uncurl back down. Uncurl, that's the word. All right, and then from there, please roll to your side and bring yourselves up onto your mat and onto your hands and knees. My suggestion next would be downward facing dog. And then some of you would maybe prefer to do a forearm dog, and some of you would maybe prefer to do an extended child's pose or some other variation. So you choose. But as you come into downward dog, really let the head hang. Stay in your body and feeling your pelvis and your legs. It's a gradual awakening, right? So you can pedal the legs or turn the ankles out, turn the ankles in to the right, to the left, and explore the various lines through downward dog. Of course, including the arm lines. And this might sound like an odd thing to say, but I just want to remind you all that elbows bend. Sometimes, like in downward dog, we get very, because of the traditional, the classic way that it's taught, with arms straight. But remember that when the elbows bend, the shoulder girdle frees up, and one can access the mid-back and the shoulder blades much more so. And for some of you, that actually could be fairly useful in this weight-bearing position. Right, and different. So if you soften the elbows, what happens in terms of your ability to access and move in your upper back? Using the fixed frame of the hands on the floor and the weight bearing to actually maneuver in the upper back in a different kind of way.
Looking for variation on that one. Well, my neck doesn't have to.
I think what you're doing right angle is just better, and then
You do a little less than what you use.
okay. You guys are like, look at this. All he wants to do is flex, and all he wants to do is extend. Okay, let's have you please come up to standing. Actually, you know what I want to do is lunging. Do you guys have, where you are, do you have blocks nearby? I didn't mention that. So we can easily get blocks here, but is it a, she's getting it. We can't hand you a block. Right? You're like, here it's coming. So let's have you face,
Thank you.
just bring your right leg forward and come into a low lunge. Keep your fingertips on the floor, hands on the blocks. A little patting on the knee is always a nice thing. And you're doing that for your
No weight on this shoulder.
so don't have any weight on. definitely is a different stretch here. What? I'm always here. One of your legs forward and one of your legs back. Just be sure you do it on the other side next time. Okay. Notice what's happening right in the superficial front line. What's happening in your arm lines, like are you again locked in the shoulders? Can you soften around the wrist, the elbows, drop the shoulder girdle down, bring more awareness, and most importantly, can you bring a little DFL, is that okay? And you can put, like if you bring this hand here to the like that. And so a little DFL and just exploring that. What happens if you curl your back toes under with the knees down? Like, how does that change it? Not good, bad, but just different. Just notice the awareness that comes through. And then go ahead and put the top of the foot towards the floor, and can you stretch the top of the ankle down towards the floor so you get more of the superficial front line lengthening consciously. And then let's have you focus on the front leg and shift the hips back, lift the ball of the front foot up, and push out through the heel. And as it's comfortable for you, fold forward. So if you're tighter, remember if you're tighter in the rotation of the hips, then you want to bend your knee more so that you can flex forward from the pelvis a little bit more. Okay. Yeah. Can you do a little internal and external rotation with that front leg? A little internal and external rotation of the front leg, working into the deep front line and the lateral line. And moving around the hip joint. Good. All the way down through the sole of the foot. So you bring the foot piece into it. Good. Right? And then bring yourself back into your lunge, please. And curl your back toes under. And lift the back thigh, knee, shin off the floor. Keeping the hips low. And here again, up to you, if you can, hold your weight through the pelvic girdle and take your hands off the blocks and bring them onto your front thigh. A little forward lean, core engaged. And then next step, if you decide you would like to, is to extend your left arm up alongside your ear and get the full length of the stretch. From the back heel pressing back all the way up, and you can do a little extend and then pull down, a little lap bar pull down through the shoulder blade, elbow drawing in, shoulder blade drawing in as you exhale, and then inhale, sending the arm forward and up again. That's it, Maya. Good. Okay, and then bringing both hands onto the block, slowly lowering the back knee and consciously shifting your front leg back and coming to stand for a moment on both knees, eyes closed, pause and feel. Okay, and then let's transition to the second side. Your other leg forward. And dropping into the low lunge with the knee down, starting with the top of the foot on the floor. More engaged. Observe how you are touching in and onto the blocks. Can you lighten that, soften that, bring the elbows down, shoulders down? So there's less tension and pressure on the arms. They're more there for a little bit of support balance-wise than because they're carrying a lot of your weight. And then curling the back toes under, and just observing how that feels and where that activates, still keeping the knee down, but the toes curled under. And just playing with the superficial back line, front line relationship with the lunge, right through the lower half of the leg. Some of you will feel it more in your iliacus when you do that. It's just interesting. Okay, and then taking the top of the foot onto the floor again, and really pressing, lengthening down through that lower part of the superficial front line, so the top of the ankle comes more in contact with the floor, and noticing how that impacts the feeling of the lunge. And then from here, you're going to shift your hips back with the ball of the front foot up. Let the upper body release as is appropriate and comfortable for you into forward flexion. Okay. And then a little internal and external rotation, that windshield viper action in the front leg. Out and in. And then bringing your weight forward back into the lunge, and curl the back toes under, lifting off the back leg, extending it fully, setting the front shin, knee over the heel, setting the core, really drawing in through the glutes, bringing the hands lightly up onto the knee. And then from here, taking, for most of you, it looks like right arm forward, right? So that's, you are stretching through the whole line, back heel through the fingertips, and working with the drawing that lat bar movement of drawing the shoulder blade in. And if you'd like to add, some of you are adding the variation of turning the head, that's absolutely fine to do that as well. Engaging through the abdominals consistently as you work. This has been working. They've been working. They're not the same people that were here 6 months ago. Not the same Anamayas that were here, which means that there's been some shift in the Monomaya between then and now. Okay, so from here, bringing the knee, hands down and then knee down, and then shifting consciously front leg in line with the back leg, coming to stand on the knees. Pause for a moment. Noticing, feeling, observing sensations in the body. And from here, Vajrasana, we're going to do alternate arm with head sweep and Brahmari. So you're going to inhale, bring your right arm up, exhale, fold forward, sweep the right arm, turn to the left, and as you come down, and then alternate. About 4 times on each side. Nice and slow. Pause after inhale. Pause after exhale. Here's time. When you complete an even number on both sides, once again, bring yourself into downward facing dog. Notice how it feels to do downward facing dog after doing the lunges. Notice if the lunge sequence has impacted your dog pose at all. Again, feel free to play with, undulate within the pose to access the sides of the body a little bit more, or to emphasize the legs, the pelvis, or the shoulder girdle as you feel that it's what the nourishment you need. And then bringing yourselves down consciously, slowly, with support onto your belly. And once again, making a little pillow with your hands, backs of your hands, forehead resting. Start with your left hand on the floor and your right hand on top of your left hand. The forehead in contact with the back of the right hand. Left hand on the floor, right hand on, you could do this at the wall if you wanted. I mean, try it, I don't know, but that's an option that you could try. So your left hand is going to remain on the floor, and your right hand, when you lift up, we're going to do a little pendiculation with the right arm, lifting. Back of the hand stays super glued to the forehead, and the left leg is going to lift. So you're going to keep your hand in back of the hand, that's it, Liz. Hand in contact, and the elbow's going to lift. You're going to twist a little bit to the right with your upper body and lift your left leg, and then release to neutral. And we're going to repeat that. When you release to neutral, rest down. Rest the leg down, rest the head down, rest the hand down. And then you're going to do the same thing. Lift up and look over the shoulders like you're turning towards a little bit to the right, and then back down. Allow your forehead and weight of the head to be supported by the hand. Right? So the hand's not just a superficial prop, it's actually doing something actively. Okay? So the forehead, the head lifts, the chest lifts a little bit on the right side and left leg lifts. Okay, rest down. Pause for a moment. Now I'm going to have you work with the same side a few more rounds, but this time you're going to do exactly the same movement with your arm and your leg, the lift and the twist, but your eyes are going to look in the opposite direction. So as you turn your torso and your head to the right, your eyes are going to look towards your left shoulder. And then everything meets again back in the middle. So once again, lifting, doing that little bit of a twist, but your eyes are going to go opposite. Eyes go in the opposite direction as you're turning your head. So you're looking, so you'd be looking out the window. And then back to center. And repeat that a few times. Okay. In the pause,